Treylon Burks of Arkansas. Hang on. And before you get here, Ike, really quickly, I think you have underrated Treylon Burks. You have him right now as your sleeper pick. I think he might be the best of the bunch of this group, but hop in here and I'll add my 2 cents worth.
Big body. Grown old man strength. I don't know if you shake an old person's hand and, they say, look, the old people, they got their old school ways where you got to look a man in his eye and squeeze his hand firmly. It was like a man playing against boys when you want to talk about Banks, 6'2", 225. And usually guys who are that fast, I think he ran a 4.5, but he don't play like a 4.5. He played like a 4.3, 4.4 kind of body. You know what I'm saying? It was always him deboing, whether it was a linebacker, whether it was a safety, whether it was a DB. He found a way to get open, or he just debowed his way to get open. This guy from Arkansas, Banks from Arkansas, all he did was it was like I said, it was a man against boys. It's just a route running I'm gonna have to see, because a lot of his routes was on the sideline, vertical route running, jump balls. So we'll see when he gets to the league how crisp of a route runner he is. Hopefully he will be. But when you want to talk about just an old man, just brute, his nickname should be Brute, because that's exactly what he did when it came down to watching his taping on film, man. He just showed brute strength. And like I say, man, 6'2", 225, you don't think a guy being that fast, but he was breaking away from a lot of people. And some guys had some angles on him. So I got him as my sleeper. If you thought he was the best, receiver coming out of this draft, I can't argue with that, Mark.
3 adjectives I'll use: big, fast, and physical. And it's an example of why a 40-yard dash doesn't always tell the story, because you see 4.55 on paper, but when I popped on the tape, he's running by DBs on SEC defenses, play after play after play after play. I didn't see him get caught.
No, I ain't see him get caught one time either, Mark. Banks, he different. He different. So I remember Coach Mitch, my defensive line coach, when we played like the Jacksonvilles, when we played the Baltimore Ravens, he always used to say, man, bring your big boy pads. It's gonna be this kind of game. When you're going against Banks, you gotta bring your big boy pads. Your mindset gotta go out of space, because all he wants on the field is trouble. Trouble in a good way for him, trouble in a bad way for you.
And Ike, you mentioned the route running. I'll say this: the highlights I watched, Arkansas used Burks all over the field, and he made like every kind of catch, at least among the highlights that I watched. I thought he adjusted the ball very well. So if he shores up his route running as well, I don't need all of my receivers to run a 4.2. At least, like, think about who some of the best receivers are in the league. They didn't necessarily have the best combines or pro days. And so sleeper pick, I mean, like this, I think he could be the best of the bunch. We'll see. This class is so loaded. I think a lot of it's just going to depend on which play. Like, I think it's going to be much more dependent upon fit, because the talent at the receiver position in this year's draft is just, it's next level.
Nice, Mark. This receiver class is deeper than the ocean. That's how deep this. We can go 12. I watched 12 players from this receiver class, and this is my 6 I came up with. And we got to just throw this guy, Greg Pickens, out there from Georgia. He's another one of these guys you got to keep an eye on. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers, they keeping an eye on him as well. So this is, what's today's date, Mark? Today is the 11th.
Yes, sir. George Pickens from Georgia, Ike. And he was coming off, I think he was coming off an injury of some sort as well at Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, Ike.
But that's exactly what the Steelers like. They like to do their research. They like guys who's just coming off an injury, because they always feel that's a steal for them. And they don't have to get them high in the draft. That's exactly how the Pittsburgh Steelers think.
One final note about Burks before we move to the tight ends, Ike. Burks wears size 5XL gloves. He's got that old man strength, bench pressing 380 pounds, squats 500, power cleans 320. So I can't wait to see what he does in the league.
Yeah, he left with the offensive linemen and the running backs.
Load it up, Ike, and it's just like add more plates. We'll add more plates to each side on the squat rack, on the bench press. It don't matter.
No, 100%.